Welcome everyone. So today's session is about DXUIM and how we plan to enhance it for full stack infrastructure observability and make it one of the key cornerstones for our AIOps and observability solution by Broadcom. So I am Ashish Agarwal. I lead the product management for infrastructure observability solutions within AIOps portfolio. DXUIM is one of the products under my purview. So today's session is about roadmap of the product, which over next few quarters, and let's take it from there. S- So it's a standard disclaimer slide as in, so things are subject to change. It's just for the information purpose as on date. So what I plan to talk about today is starting with how the industry is shaping up, especially for the infrastructure side of things. I'll talk about how our portfolio is trying to solve the problems because of the changing industry dynamics. And then I'll get into details around what's coming next with DXUIM as a key infrastructure monitoring solution, and then how strategically we are moving forward with a unified observability solution by Broadcom. And I'll take into the details around how we are planning to make infrastructure as the key important piece of our enterprise observability. I'll take the question towards the end. So let's begin. So cloud spend is increasing. Okay, and this I have been talking since last few quarters, and the trend is not changing. 75% of the respondents to our primary survey kind of reflecting the same, both within our user base and beyond. Another key statistics which is coming out is that 80% of the cloud only or cloud first enterprises are moving workloads, data, and their applications back to on-prem. Okay, some of them, okay, due to architectural limitations of the migrated apps or the cost, which is the key reason. So cloud repatriation is happening, and it is real, especially in the uh, uh, user space we work with. Another key thing is container technology is not a new thing, but especially for the large enterprises or global organization. So 90% of those organizations would be running containerized application on production by 2027. So what does that mean is the container technologies are gaining a lot of traction, and it is increasing even if the cloud repatriation is happening and data centers are getting hybrid. Finally, device proliferation is happening. 82% of our respondents kind of strengthen that argument as well, which based on the survey we did. And that is the new scale which is happening due to new technologies, hybrid multi-cloud, and more ephemeral technologies getting into data center. The things are getting more towards high scale inventory in a new data centers. So cost of not responding to change is huge. Okay, hybrid environments and deep technology stacks need a cohesive, unified views. Lack of unified observability is leading to what I call swirl chair syndrome, leading to reduced operational efficiencies. Hybrid infrastructure leads to unpredictability in business services, performances, and like leading to IT leading to impacting of business. And finally, tool sprawls. The problem which we all have been trying to solve is not getting tamed. It leads to vendor management challenges, blame games, and finally inefficiencies in the operations. To support these challenges, okay, we have our AIOps by Broadcom portfolio focused towards different personas. Okay, it could be line of business owners, it could be app and server administration, site reliability engineers, operators. So our portfolio focused towards digital experience management to app, infra, network observability. Collecting data, that is the value drivers for observability, which is matrices, logs, and traces, to specialized tools, as you see towards the bottom of this slide, for digital experience management, uh, application performance management, network, and infrastructure in AIOps with Broadcom portfolio, and also through third party vendors for like for data ingestion, and because we acknowledge that there could be third party tools helping getting the data. So all of this data in a solution fed into a AIOps data lake, offering three key benefits. The first one being centralized alarm management, alarm noise reduction, which is based on anomaly detection, unified dashboarding and reporting across app to infra, including end user monitoring, and finally, service driven observability, which is about breaking the silos and focusing on IT service, which is impacting the business. So, our portfolio is open for integration with automation, remediation, and some of the other orchestration tools. So for folks, okay, so who would like to embrace AI ops even today, so they have an option of integrating UIM with our DX operational intelligence product, okay, which is a separate product to gain benefits in terms of intelligent infrastructure observability even today. So, say example, DXOI helps teams combat the explosive volume of data which is coming in by using some of the machine learning based algorithms to cluster the relevant alerts to suppress noise and speed triage so you can determine the root cause issues quicker. Okay, the solution which focuses on 4 T's as we call it: topology, time, text, and training, to reduce to the situations. Situations provide time-based evidence of how things unfolded, and it utilizes machine learning and ontology to arrive at root causes. So solution it can be integrated overall with ITSM tools like ServiceNow to automate ticket creation and management, and further automate remediation based on integration with some of the orchestration and automation solutions. So in case someone is looking for a more unified view, okay, UIM can be integrated with DX operational intelligence for more cohesive end-to-end view. So dashboarding within an organization are often relying on too many tools, which is used in silos, creating massive volumes of disparate data with no end-to-end visibility. Okay, so when problems arise, triaging issues is time consuming and often it leads to lengthy war rooms which result in a finger pointing and blame game. So what OI offers is a central location to view data, which is essential in a large scale enterprise environments. Okay, so dashboarding, which is customizable and also available out of the box, even for infrastructure side of things, enable teams to leverage some common view of data, ensuring teams from whether from executives to support engineers to have end-to-end visibility and confidence in determining the root cause of the issues. So the dashboarding layer on OI is based on Grafana. Okay, so this capabilities allows unfettered access to all data sources, whether it's app, infra, network, mainframe, cloud, to easily search, view, and interact with the data to provide real-time insights and correlated views. So you can visualize your inventory, health, alarm, matrix, and log data all together, drill down to the different layers. For example, go from DX dashboards on OI to operator console in UIM for a specialized triage in case needed. And finally, the third key essential element what users can get with the integration is ability to identify performance bottlenecks and detect anomalies not in silos but across the value chain, allowing teams to move from reactive firefighting mode to more proactive resolution. So the DXOI solution, which is a key piece for AI ops capabilities, has anomaly detection, or I should say call dynamic anomaly detection. You are able to detect issues faster It observes the seasonality and trend of data automatically, applies the relevant machine learning algorithms to retain typical values for a given metric based on historical trends. Okay, it generates alerts. So if someone is looking for more intelligent alarming, better views in terms of managing the silos and more for business centric views, so this is something you can achieve with the integration even today. Okay, so moving into specialized UIM arena solution. Okay, so remember I had been talking about three value pillars. So with this year and beyond, we have added a fourth value pillar. Okay, so the first key value pillar is around unified hybrid infra monitoring. It is about providing a single platform with coverage across traditional, virtual, and modern hybrid cloud technologies, thereby checking the tool sprawl problem in the infrastructure side of things. Intelligent operations, which is the third box on this slide, supporting teams in running the IT ops more efficiently, okay, with and making sure the IT resources are optimally utilized and available as per the needs. Third value pillar is around scalability for IT complexity. It focuses on reliability, security, and scalability. Okay, and UIM is already natively multi-tenant, which helps support for largest and most complex enterprises. But and the fourth pillar, what we have added in the monitoring domain is AIOps and observability. It is about ingesting the high octane data, okay, to fuel the AIOps in terms of granularity of data, dependencies, topology, enabling accurate correlation analytics. So our mission with UIM is to help IT ops in getting best from infrastructure and enabling them optimally running the IT ops to support the business. So UIM, as we all know, is the monitoring solution you need to provide a consolidated view across your infrastructure stack, from traditional data centers to private public cloud. Okay, as you can see from this slide, whether it's a traditional data center to storage and network appliances to more modern technologies in terms of private cloud technologies, and even some of the public cloud deployment. Single pane of glass view helps quickly correlate that data point from disparate sources and help reduce the overall MTTR while triaging. So we already know UIM had been a unified solution for hybrid data centers. It offers focusing, as I say, on performance, health, and availability of full infrastructure stack with its uh, breadth of monitoring through its uh, portfolio of monitoring probes. Okay, it is able to provide a consistent monitoring functionality across all the technologies. So this is what we already have, and you would have observed that with the last major release, that is 23.4, we have strengthened the each piece of it. I would like to highlight here the zero touch monitoring, okay, which has been strengthened with 23.4, which is now more scalable, reliable, and resilient to the high device proliferation and scale happening in a new modern day data center with the re-architected framework, which uses more of a pull model and less of a push model, which was the case earlier. Okay, making it more scalable. And another thing in terms of improving the performance management, health and availability experience, while we have been introducing and strengthening our capabilities around PRDs, metric views, service level management, list views. Okay, we introduce a capability called observability views. Okay, which in 23.4 helps an operator kind of create a converged view using these technologies, okay, to create a custom role based views based on responsibilities or technology, going from exec view to down to an operator view and getting the information in context. Apart from it, yeah, so within UIM we have strengthened alarm management and continue to support integration. So what's next with UIM? Okay, so with UIM as in, so in the last quarter of calendar year 2023, until then, we focused on strengthening our monitoring breadth and depth in terms of cloud and container monitoring. So we released some of the new probes like for Kubernetes, Podman, OpenShift, okay, and strengthened our Docker monitoring solution within UIM and also expanded our public cloud monitoring. Okay. Apart from that, so and then in this ongoing quarter, okay, towards the early part in January, okay, we released a next major release for UIM, which is 23.4. So as a PM, okay, I can vouch that is one of the most complete releases since last few years, enhancing the all four value pillars I talked about for a successful infrastructure monitoring. So features like observability view, designer, zero touch monitoring that I already talked about. In terms of security, we released an option of deploying and monitoring through UIM with a less privileged user option. Okay, so first, especially in the current times where SecOps teams are reluctant in providing root level access, so now there's an option for a less privileged user to do UIM deployment and monitoring. And one of the key capabilities which was added in 23.4 is what we call ICE, like in product content enrichment. It is, I would say, your first should be your first point of contact even before L1 to get access to the enablement content or tech docs. Uh, uh, so in that capability, which is an opt-in capability, users can in context get access to the tech docs relevant for that screen or workflow, blogs, KB articles in case something it needs to be taken care of, or even access to some of the other collateral which are available on a public domain then and there. So even before reaching out to L1, this should be your first point in context. And then, yeah, of course, our support teams are there to help everyone out. So in the some of the things which are planned in Q2 is focusing on MCS, okay, which is like enabling the zero touch monitoring experience. Okay, so now to ease the adoption and for customers which are using super packs, okay, we are working on providing support for super packs to MCS template migration. Okay, so to make things easier, if someone wants doesn't want to get into a new greenfield configuration, which is actually pretty simple, okay, with MCS, but still we are working to help ease things out. For enhanced templates, currently upgrading from one version of template to other is was a is a multi-step process. We are working towards easing that out as well in terms of one-step migration. Okay, so that users can get value of the latest template in terms of monitoring depth or some of the functions as we release uh, on demand basis. In terms of other things which is planned is especially for the again from the SecOps requirement, doing your discovery through a passwordless and key file support is something which is coming out, and we are planning to add that, especially for the remote monitoring use cases using RSP and some of the other methods. So this is something which we are planning to do. So, other things which are under consideration are enhancing our dashboard designer, which is our go forward in in product dashboard designing tools, very natively integrated with the UIM data schema. So we are planning to make introduce newer widgets and even spoof up the new widgets to make more jazzier, more relevant dashboards using dashboard designer. Okay, so we are considering that because that is going to be a go forward dashboarding solution within UIM in order to support the AIOps use cases. Okay, so currently you within UIM bearing some of the newest technologies like AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, and some of the storage probes. UIM probes only support dependency relationships in terms of inventory. Okay, it doesn't actually collect the proper topology. So now we are planning to enhance our monitoring probes to start collecting that topology. Okay, especially for system and database which are monitored using UIM. And idea is to once that data is fed into AIOps solution, so it should be able users should be able to model a service based on the technologies monitored by UIM and create a topology service driven topology model. Another thing which we are considering to add within UIM, especially on demand with large enterprises and partners, is the monitoring governance report. So this report would help answer questions like what all devices are under currently monitoring, if whether they are being monitored uh, through legacy way or through MCS. What are the matrices getting collected? Which probes are being used to collect those matrices? What's the threshold defined, okay, in case monitoring is done using alarm policies which are dependent on MCS? Okay, so this monitoring governance report is something we are planning to introduce out of the box with UIM as we move forward. In terms of security, we are planning to add multi-factor authentication support within UIM. So we'll be starting with our in-house MFA solution with Semantic, and also plan to release steps to even integrate or support some of the other third-party MFA solutions. As we move forward, we plan to introduce a newer reporting designer tool within UIM, replacing the Jaspersoft. Okay, so we have been hearing that there's lack of investment within Jaspersoft, and it is creating trouble for our users. It's not very intuitive, not very usable. So as we move forward, we plan to introduce a replacement for Cabby, which is primarily used for reporting as we move forward. And also to improve the power on experience, we are planning to introduce some of the out of the box observability views based on some of the popular technologies or knock views. It could be in terms of self monitoring screens from various components within a UIM deployment, to Kubernetes, to multi-cloud observability views as we move forward. One of the key things which we are planning to uh, do in the with the coming quarters and beyond is, since we would have two releases which will be simultaneously supported, latest one being the 23.4 series, and the one of the current minus one, which is 20.4 series, that both releases would be supported for as we move forward. So we're planning to introduce some level of predictable cadence for our cumulative updates. So we intend to release one cumulative update every quarter for the current release, that is 23.4, focusing on some of the early adopter feedback, regular security and vulnerability and quality fixes as we move forward. On 20.4, we'll be releasing a cumulative update every 6 months, every like alternate quarter, mostly focusing towards security and quality fixes. Okay, as we move forward, we just released CU10 around last week on 20.4, and the next one which we are planning to release is CU1 on 23.4 in next few weeks. And we're planning to introduce a predictable cadence uh, as we move forward, like I mentioned. In terms of monitoring coverage, that is depth and breadth, which is the key aspect of a monitoring solution, and UIM has been focusing and strengthening that. So until last year, we focused on, like I mentioned, updating or introducing private cloud monitoring solution for Kubernetes, Podman, OpenShift, added monitoring coverage for some of the Azure Cosmos DB, AWS, EKS, thereby making sure we are supporting Kubernetes both in a private cloud and through public cloud, whether it's AWS, Azure, or GCP. Uh, and then regular tech currency updates followed over the year, like top one being around NetApp and some of the vSphere, vCenter version currency. So in this ongoing quarter, we some of things are already released, some of things are planned to be released, is around strengthening our GCP monitoring solution, which is getting a lot of traction and focus. So we're planning to add support for the monitoring GCP security events, such as a new VPC pairing, new account creation, changes to firewall rules. That's something our customers have been asking for. Planning to add coverage of some new services which keeps rolling out, in the GCP arena, like Cloud Bigtable, Cloud SQL, Memory Store, just to name a few. In terms of security update, okay, so adding TLS 1.3 support for URL response probe, and also for storage solution, which is Echelon. We're planning to add support for multi-node Echelon cluster along with auto discovery. And then there's test regular tech currency, which will follow. So we are making sure that our monitoring probes are current and relevant as we move forward. So some of the things which are under consideration within UIM for monitoring perspective is introduction of Azure Stack Hyperconverged Infrastructure HCI within UIM, and also topology support for wider set of probes for richer infra observability as we move forward. The integration between UIM and DX operational intelligence is something which is critical, and we are working in hardening and stabilizing it, adding support for HA for that connector, which is OI connector and APM bridge, is something which we are planning to do to kind of make sure that that's not a single point of failure for the AIOps value proposition if customers are looking for. So this is where, yeah, so we are working on UIM. And as we move forward, strategically, we are planning to invest and improve our observability solution by Broadcom. So this is going to be a evolution from monitoring, which, like I mentioned, for UIM, focusing on unified infra monitoring. It's about depth and breadth of monitoring of the infrastructure stack, focusing on performance, availability, and responsiveness, and doing that at scale. And this will continue. Okay, so UIM will continue to get improved uh, as the unified infrastructure monitoring solution in our portfolio. But with this quarter and beyond, we are planning to heavily embrace observability and making infrastructure a key piece of it. So evolution from infra monitoring to a full stack observability solution, okay, is moving or thinking beyond domain specific things of performance, availability, and responsiveness. It's about getting the holistic view of performance, behavior, and impact of applications and the underlying dependencies. It's about comprehensive observability across app, infra, network, and also making sure we are leveraging AI ops with its new age techniques to improve overall IT efficiency. So that's would be a journey even for our customers who wants to embrace observability, but they can continue to use UIM as a key data collector for infrastructure monitoring and also for their overall infra monitoring needs. So AIOps from Broadcom would provide okay comprehensive monitoring and analytics across end user experience, application, infra, container, cloud services to help team ensure great user experiences and speed of application delivery by providing in context performance details across the entire app delivery chain. Okay, it's also about enabling efficient resource utilization across the entire IT stack. So the way we would be focusing, or the key values we envision to provide with our observability solution, is comprehensive observability, focusing on observability of each layer of IT stack with wide and deep coverage. Okay, checking the tool sprawl, that is a problem that we continue to solve. Offering a domain centric AI ops for better actionable insights across the domains, whether it's app, infra, or operations. Observing, helping our customers with confidence, a system which enforces and fosters monitoring coverage with greater confidence. Okay, so what I call co-pilot for operators, making sure we are able to support the whole chain and not focusing on silos. And finally, business insights, okay, which is about looking or observing business from a lens of an IT. Okay, so how do we plan to do that? Okay, so overall, it's more of a architecture. if I may call. So the way we are focusing is from moving from silos to one solution to finally one product, offering full stack observability, which we is like operational observability for an enterprise. Okay, so it starts with having a ingestion of whether it's real time and synthetic for digital experience management, application server, and then infrastructure data getting, or even through third party data, which will get ingested upon in terms of matrices and alerts, which gets onto a common data store. Okay, and just to name, okay, even for the infrastructure piece, it would be the UIM probes as well, which will be phoning towards this data lake directly as we plan. It will be around correlation, enrichment, compaction, normalization happening at the data store level, and providing insights in terms of various capabilities we envision to have on this solution in terms of stack explorer, looking the all the 7 layers of an app delivery chain. Okay, from infrastructure to the top app server to applications, unified dashboarding, reporting, service analytics, assisted triage, advising our customers. That's the co-pilot piece of it. Okay, like whether you are under monitored, over monitored, and what can be monitored for a efficient digital experience to the end user. User journeys and funnel analysis for a synthetic and real user. Common alarm console and capacity planning, especially for the infrastructure piece, okay, which is critical. Like both overutilization and underutilization is a problem, and helping our users to do capacity planning would be one of the areas of focus. And all of these with a common administrations, whether in terms of role-based access or user management, uh, very simplified zero-touch onboarding experience, inventory management, agent data collector lifecycle management, alerting, notification, and with a very open architecture through APIs. Okay, so the solution would also be able to integrate to various other northbound integration, as I call it, whether it's for collaboration, automation, notification, or even for service management. So idea is, like I said, moving a m- from a multiple product approach, which I mentioned earlier in our portfolio, to a one product, one solution approach. That is a strategic direction which we are will picking as we move forward. The solution would be SaaS first, okay, and on-prem next offering. So for infrastructure focused folks in here, you would have an option of say infrastructure observability through SaaS going forward. Okay, so as we move ahead, it's about having one single entry point for whole full stack observability, and then able to customize, slice and dice as per your roles and personas. And this is where we will be strategically moving ahead. So in terms of themes of work, okay, so we plan to enhance the capabilities I mentioned around 6 arenas. Security and stability is like kind of implied, okay, it's about enterprise grade development, secure delivery, secure development, and even secure deployment. Second key arena is about deployment. It's offering a cloud hosting ready UIM on-prem solution, which will be an on-prem solution, but intent is to have it cloud hosting ready, and along with the SaaS first full stack observability solution. Okay. Uh, Additionally, keeping technology stack coverage up to date for platforms and version currency. In terms of observability, okay, so idea would be work around making sure the user interface enables quicker triage for presenting data in a sense which is relevant for the different personas we will be catering to, having a continuous improvement around quicker time to value for enterprise customers with a standardized template based monitoring, okay, at scale across app and infra, starting with discovery to inventory management to policy based monitoring configuration to under the hood whole agent and probe management, and then finally uh, as in so those kind of things will follow. making sure we are offering a hybrid cloud monitoring solution with data collectors or probes portfolio to meet the monitoring needs of a modern hybrid data center, uh, including containers, hyperconverged infrastructure, storage, and big data technologies. And finally, intelligent infrastructure observability in terms of predictive capacity planning, machine learning, and AI driven alarm noise reduction, business service management, just to name a few. So, in terms of observability and intelligent operations, okay, so infra observability would be based on AI ops in a way to to manage and improve the visibility, performance, reliability of both application and infrastructure across different environments and technologies. So there would be capabilities for comprehensive observability, like things like stack viewer, which helps in view the whole complete deployment across the uh, whole all 7 layers, as I call it, in an application derivative chain, starting from infrastructure going top to the runtime environment to the actual application. Unified dashboarding view in terms of enabling intelligent triage features like hotspot inspectors or the co-pilot part which I talked about for efficient triage experience across alerts, matrices, logs, and application traces converging on our solution. Centralized alarm policy using anomaly detection, alarm noise detection, and correlation. The capabilities capacity analytics, which is critical for efficient resourcing utilization. And finally, business insights. So idea is so this is the 7 layers I like talk about, from network, infra, container, app component, ID service. Idea is to up to the end user. So 7 layers of an app delivery chain or the experience delivery chain catering to different set of users, whether you are an infrastructure admin or a cloud admin or a SRE. Okay, a solution catering to the hybrid multi-cloud monitoring needs. And finally, how we intend to do it. Having a very cohesive and seamless workflow in terms of onboarding, starting with discovery, inventory management, policy driven monitoring configuration, and internal agent lifecycle management. It's about providing a zero touch onboarding experience, or smart onboarding as I call it, for both app and infra, for quicker time to value. And things like monitoring advisor, which we're envisioning, that would be the thing. All of these could be like very seamless automated workflow, zero touch, or for our expert users giving an option for override at each layer. So while the system would be advising a user what can be monitored and what needs to be monitored, for an efficient usage and how deep you can go about monitoring, but also helping users in terms of utilizing their tacit knowledge and expertise in getting value from the solution in a consistent manner. So with this, Asin, so it comes to an end. I talked about today how we plan to enhance UIM as our key infrastructure monitoring solution, focusing towards comprehensive, unified multi-cloud monitoring across the tech stack, uh, focusing on scale and reliability as we move forward, and strategically how we are moving forward for one product, one solution in our portfolio, okay, breaking the silos and creating a more coherent view, a full stack observability solution, enabling our users to get an offering on SaaS in case they want, even for infrastructure observability or the overall enterprise observability, and having a very consistent user flow, acting as a co-pilot. So that's where we would be investing over next 1 to 2 years. So that's the direction we plan to take. So with this, I'll probably open for Q&A.